Right guys, so I'm back and I'm going to do another rebuild. Well, I say rebuild, restore. So this is the Commodore Amiga. So this is a step up from what we did before. We did the Spectrum before. Now we're going into the 90s with this one. Well, late 80s, early 90s. This was a machine I didn't have. My brother had this, and we had it quite late in the Amiga lifespan, really. I had the ST, Atari ST. My brother had one of these, but I was always on this. So, yeah. So I'd like to get this one going. Now, last time I did a power supply because I didn't have one. So I fixed that. We've got power, and I've got this. I've not even plugged it in yet. Now I do have an Amiga. So this is just the A500. The other one I have is the 500 plus. So that is in pieces at the minute because it's a bit poorly. So if I just put the bits up for reference, we've got two keyboards. They're exactly the same, but you can see like the color of it. So this is at the Amiga 500. So it's been probably somewhere nice and hot, because what tends to happen is these plastics are they're impregnated with like a fire retardant, basically, so they don't burst into flames. No, so they don't like catch fire easy, and it's a chemical called bromide. But what that does is if it gets warm. People say it's sun damage, but it's not really. It's like a heat. If there's a constant heat, it brings the chemical to the surface, and that's what gives it this yellowy color. It almost looks like somebody's been smoking around it and everything. The other one's not too bad. I'm guessing this one was stored away somewhere not too hot. I mean, it is a little bit yellow. I'll probably do what they call retro brighting on that. It's basically using hydrogen peroxide. It's like a bleach. It will bleach the plastic back to its original color. It basically just takes the top layer where the bromides come to the top. It'll just strip that out. A lot of people say it makes the plastic weaker. I don't know. I'm going to try it. We could probably rehydrate the plastic, because that's the thing you can do as well. You could probably rehydrate it. But yeah, so I don't know what the state of this machine is, and I don't know what state the other machine is. That's why I got them, basically, just so I could add just something I could tinker with and have a little play and experiment. We might end up with two completely broken machines and can't do anything with them. I'm gonna try. Right, let's get this on the bench and start stripping it down, because I just want to have a look at what's inside first before we're sticking any power in it. Right, it's a little bigger. There's 6 screws. Take these out here. It looks relatively clean on the outside, but I can see there's a bit of corrosion in there, a bit of rust. It's missing the expansion trapdoor. Right, it does have this trapdoor. Let's get that off. We got something, a flat blade or something I can just poke in there. Something. Let's see if I can get that in there. It's not tight. Oh. So it has got a RAM expansion in. Cool. Alright, pull that aside. Right, I think that there's some screws there, but I think they're for the floppy. Right. See if we can lift this top off. Just got some little tabs on the side. Just come on. There we go. Oh dear. Yeah, so this RF shield, you can see it's literally rusty, so oxidized to the nines. There's a silver bit there, that's what it's supposed to be. But it is. I mean, you can see it, even if I rub it with my finger, look, you can see, I don't know if you can see that, it's coming off. So that's not good. Alright, that's not it's not the end of the world, but it's not good. Just unplug the keyboard. Right. Ah, somebody's been in here before. There's a screw missing. There's a screw missing in that corner. Never mind. Wonder what they've been in for. So that's the RAM expansion. That goes into the expansion slot. So there used to be a battery on there. I can't see if it's corroded or not. It doesn't look too bad, but yeah. So same thing with the Amiga 500. They moved the real-time clock. That's the real-time clock, and it's battery backup. What they did is like they leaked over time, and it basically destroyed the board. So when I got my Amiga 500 Plus, the first thing I did was literally just take the battery out, snip it out. There was a little bit of corrosion in there, and we'll have a look when we start that one. But that's a bigger project, because I've got to take sockets off and all sorts on that one. Mind you, I might have to do something with this similar. But these 500s, they didn't have the real-time clock on the actual board. They had it on the RAM slots, RAM expansion. All right, just lift these tabs up. Now then, this should... Oh, yeah, forgot that. I only know because I took my 500 Plus apart. So I've been in one before. Oh dear me. I mean, look at that. Look at the state of that. The rust on there. So this has been somewhere quite moist. A lot of people tend to keep them in the attics or in sheds or things like that, and they're the worst places you can actually keep them. Because attics, they are like they're insulated, but the top half isn't. So in summer, it gets like an oven. It gets ridiculously hot, and in winter it gets cold. With the temperature differences and the moisture, you get stuff like this happening, and probably a lot worse. So if you've got one in your attic or in a shed, take it out, because it's probably worse than this now. And cut the battery out as well. All right. It should pop off. There we go. Ooh, and there she be. Right, doesn't look too bad, to be fair. Doesn't look too bad at all. So obviously we're gonna be recapping it. So because these caps are like what, 30-year-old, so they'll be ready for changing. So I'll just give it a little look over. I'm going to get my magnifying eyes on. So I'll just get my magnifying eyes and I'll just give it a little look over. So it's not a good idea to have that there because my head's going to be in the way. So I'll just give it a little look over and then we'll see about powering it up. Right then, so it looks relatively clean, to be fair. There is a bit around there. I don't know if that's corrosion or a bit of IPA. A bit of IPA, yeah. A pad. I think it's just get that squirt just around where the battery was. I mean, we can neutralize it with vinegar. So, because the battery is like alkaline, and the alkaline will literally eat through copper, making it all eat it away, eat all the traces away, so you lose contacts. So if you use a bit of vinegar, a bit of white vinegar, just to neutralize it. I mean, did you ever do like science at school, learn about acids? So yeah, I mean, it looks a bit dirty. Everywhere else is pretty clean, to be fair. Contact looks like somebody's had something on the edge connector. They look quite worn, but yeah, not too bothered about that. Right, let's power it on. Oh, okay, no signal. Oh. Oh, a bit strange. Right, we've got floppy activity. Now it should boot into the like kickstart thing. And no, it should be there. So we should have like a screen. So there should be like a little screen to tell you to insert this. I don't have a disc in. I think the flop is still moving as well. All right, let's turn that off. So, right. So all the power's okay. Let's just take this expansion out. That's a bit stiff, just because I don't like the look of it. As in, it's wow, that is in there. That is stiff. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look too bad, but it feels sticky as well. It feels all sticky. So I've got an ultrasonic cleaner, so I might bang that in there, see what it's like. Right, so that's with that out of the way. Right. Any change? Aha! Success. Well, not success. Right. My next problem is that I don't have any workbenching ROMs, but I do have a GoTech. So where is that? So a GoTech is basically like a floppy emulator. Oh, it's under there. Right, so I've got some software on there. I do have a floppy. It's an old cover disc off a magazine. Alright. Oh, I don't have the keyboard in, so I can't do a reset, so I'll just have to do it Alright. Let's see if we can get I'll just have to turn it on and off again. Oh, that doesn't sound healthy. That sounds a bit poorly. Oh, oh dear. Oh wait, it's reading it. Sort of, kinda. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's an old disc anyway. So, just an old Amiga action disc. Yeah. Right. So the flop is something we're gonna have to look at because that didn't sound great either. Right. I'll get my GoTech out and we'll plug that in. See what that does. Right. So this is my GoTech. It's basically a floppy emulator, and there's a lot of little things on there. Right. Let's see. If I can get a rise out of it. And yep. There we go. So this is the Amiga test kit. So basically it's just like a bunch of tools just to make sure that everything's a-okay. Well, memory. Right then. Test all memory. Oh, I suppose we could. Yeah, it takes a while though. Floppy drive. Well, it's only going to test the GoTech because I've unplugged the internal one for that one. So I'll have to take that one apart, give it a service. I don't know what's making that squeaking noise. It's probably like something oxidized that's close together, rubbing. So we'll get that all cleaned off. This RAM expansion, right? I'll drop it in my ultrasonic cleaner because I've got some solution for it as well. See if that'll get rid of. There's something on here. It's sticky. It feels a little bit sticky. It might be flux residue. I mean, it could be, but I don't know. Well, there's something definitely not happy with that anyway. So it's not liking anything on there. So we'll have a look at that. But I mean, the unit itself, it seems okay. Let's do keyboard tests. That's a bit sticky. F1, F2, F1 and escape's a bit sticky. But yeah, something around this. So it's not responding. It's intermittent. So around this area, around that area there. Now there is like a membrane. Oh dear me, there's a lot of screws in there. I think you can get replacement membranes as well. But we'll have a look. I don't fancy taking all them tiny little screws out, but we're gonna have to have a look at it. I'll take the keys off as well because the keys are a little bit dirty. They might come up with a clean. Well, that should be. Everything else appears to be okay. I'll do some more testing as well because it tests all the ports. I'll do a RAM test as well with what's on the board. Speaking of which, we do have. So this is 512, but it's expandable to 1 meg. So it's 512 that's on the board, but there are spaces to put some more RAM in. So each one of these is 256 4-bit. Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's 500. So there's 256 4-bit. So two of them, that gives you 8-bit, 256. And then the other two, 256. Because obviously there's 8 bits in a byte. So this RAM is still available. I mean, they're not producing it anymore, but you get like new old stock. So these chips would be fairly cheap as opposed to one of these RAM expansions. I'm guessing that these chips are probably about, I don't know, a couple of quid each, if that. So capacitors as well. So we want some like little ceramic capacitors on there. I don't know what the value is, but we can have a look at that. But yeah, I mean, if that's a dead stick, then we do have the option to upgrade it. That's the controller. It's called Fat Agnes. Yeah, Commodore had I think the name in there, custom chips. So there's Paula. Who else have we got? Gary. And Fat Agnes. So Fat Agnes is the one that controls the RAM. Now this chip will only allow us to go to 1 meg. So basically, if I put some chips on here, it will render this useless. Basically, it won't see anymore. It's because of the addressing. So it'll only address 1 meg of RAM. But I mean, it don't work anyway. So I mean, I'll try and give it a clean up. I'll have a look. I don't think any of the traces are damaged. Somebody has actually took the battery off, because that's where the battery would go. You can see somebody's desoldered it there, so there would be a battery on there. So somebody has took that off at some point. But it is a little bit sticky down inside there. But I'll have a look anyway. Well, the Amiga is sort of kind of working. I mean, it's okay. I'll run some more tests. I'll just dip this in a nice warm bath of the ultrasonic cleaner. See if we can get that cleaned out a little better. Right, so it's been in the sonic cleaner, and I'm just getting a rinse with some distilled water as well, just to wash obviously the detergent off, and just to make sure that all the water's out of all little bits. I mean, we'll dry it. Now I do have like a dehumidifier. But what I can do is I've got some IPA. So isopropyl. I'll just put some in there. So you do have to be careful of this, because it's like pure alcohol. So if you keep it away from fire and things. So basically what I'm going to do is just swirl this about in here, just to chase all the water out, you know, from under the chips and things like that. So the alcohol will get in there and basically just chase the water out, and then that'll all evaporate off, and then we'll have a nice clean circuit board. I'll have a little look. I don't think there's any damage traces. I mean, this would be the area to look for, and it looks pretty. Now we've cleaned it. Don't know if you can see that. No focus. No. I mean, there, look. That looks pretty clear. There's no damage on the pins. No damage on the traces. It all looks pretty good. So it may be a case of just changing them little capacitors. Now I'm not sure if I've got any small ones, but I will have a look, because that can affect it, obviously. Right, just let that evaporate off, and we'll plug it back in and try it again. Right, we're all in again. Oh, everything's okay. That's on position, and I'll put that with the keyboard in. We'll try that one. and we're going to activity light, but no. Right. Well, that be that then. Well, no total loss. I mean, we can expand the RAM through the actual motherboard itself. It just means that the expansion slot will become redundant, but I'm not too bothered about that. Nice. I could always put like jumpers on as well, so just in case that we could disable it, so we could disable the motherboard RAM and then switch to that RAM. Not that you want to, because obviously if you have ever had a real-time clock, I suppose that's the only option. See, this Amiga doesn't have the real-time clock on the board, it's on the expansion itself, whereas the Plus had it around this area here somewhere. Yeah, and that was a bad idea. Because years later, they exploded and just ate the motherboard away. Right. Yeah, so, I mean, the RAM, I've had a look, it's going to cost, it's going to cost like literally £10. So they're like £2 each. I thought they'd be cheaper than that because, well, because they're old and people, you know, they become, once things become old, they become attainable, right? Everybody wants them to repair retros. So yeah, so I mean, £10 not so bad, as opposed to them. I was having a look on eBay, and for the memory module, you know, they're like £30. So £10 to do that, or £30 for one of them, and you're not guaranteed that that's going to work. So yeah, we might as well do that. I get some sockets, put some sockets in there, and get some more RAM in. Right, so that's the plan that I'm going to do. Oh, I need to sort that floppy out as well, not this one. I'm going to put the Gotek in. I'm probably going to do this as an external one and have that as an internal one. I don't know yet. Well, I'll have a look, just see how things go, because I wanted to keep this one so I could swap between the two, because I've got the other Amiga as well, so I can swap this one with the other Amiga without having to take it apart. I can just use it externally. Right. Oh, so I think that's going to be it for this one. So we've had like a little investigation, find out what's working and what's not. It appears to be good. It just wants a clean. That wants doing. Floppy wants doing. And other things like that. I've got some upgrades that I want to do, but I'd like to get this done, like recapped and things first. So I'm going to get some RAM modules. I've already got some sockets. I've got a load of sockets, so I could probably put them in ready. Yeah, right then guys, I think that's going to be it for that one, and I'll do another one when I get everything together. Right, see you in the next one.